these data centers will require more electricity than OG&E currently provides. Is that fair?
I think over time that will may be true or it will add to the capacity we currently have. I do think it's important to note that data centers don't kind of drop in fully formed all at once and demand all of that electricity at one time. They ramp up over time, which also gives us time to determine how to best serve them, which in some case might be building new power generation, and in others we might be buying more power generation, which is what we do today. So our service area has been growing every year, and demand for electricity outside of data centers is growing. And there's a whole process at the Oklahoma Corporation Commission where we demonstrate the need, and then there's a very competitive and rigorous bidding project to determine how to meet that need. And then we go back to the commission, and there's public hearings, and all the stakeholders have a point of view. We're always going to advocate for the projects that we believe will serve the demand that's coming at the lowest possible or reasonable cost. It's very important to us that we maintain our low rates. So it's a multi-month process for those projects to be reviewed and approved by the Corporation Commission. And then in their final order, whenever they issue it, at any time that we're asking for new generation, then they will list point by point as to why they're approving certain projects.
The number that Frontier came up with of average per kilowatt hour price for Oklahoma residents in general as a whole was up 7% between September last year to September of this year. You add in data centers to that equation. Should it be fair to assume that will only go up?
I don't know that it's fair to make that assumption, because I'll also note that from September of this year to November of this year, we actually were able to reduce the fuel charge on customers' bills. So that number is actually lower than it was in September. So there are some things that we don't control that fluctuate over time. And so that may drive prices up or down to some degree. What I can tell you is that over the last 10 years, the part of our rates that we control has grown much slower than the pace of inflation. So when you take fuel out and what we're building and how we're delivering grid reliability, that's actually growing at a slower pace than inflation. Again, there's market factors there that might not always be true, but if we look to history to help guide us, keeping our rates low is really important to us. It's part of how Oklahoma grows, because OG&E's low rates are attractive to residential customers, to commercial customers, and even to data centers. So that's really important to us, that we keep those rates as low as possible, and yet deliver the reliable and safe electricity that our customers need to live their lives.
Uh, Another legislation that that article pointed out was Senate Bill 998, taking effect in August, allowing utilities to recoup costs from customers to build natural gas power plants as soon as a construction begins. With the demand that data centers would bring in, um, what is the outlook, at least on OG&E's end, for the more infrastructure that it has to build? What consumer protection plans are in place here at the end of 2025?
So there's a couple of things to think about. The bill that you're talking about really is important, and there's different points of view on it. But if you thought about it from a personal finance perspective, the way we include those costs in customer rates today is they don't go into rates until the project is completed. Now, building new power generating units, these are projects that are hundreds of millions of dollars. They're expensive. They're also going to last for generations. So if we take it down to like buying a house, this would be like paying for a balloon mortgage, and you're accumulating interest for years, and then the bill comes due and you start to pay for it. What Senate Bill 998 allows to happen for new generation bills that are natural gas fired is that we begin to include those in rates in very small amounts as construction begins, so that we can start paying the financing bill along the way. So it can save, hundreds of millions of dollars over the total cost of the project, which is significant. And we know that that's important. We don't think our customers should have to pay for interest costs that could be avoided. So that's why that was important to us, and we'll see how that comes to play in the future. As we build new generation. But as I mentioned, it'll be a combination of building new generation, whether, could be diversity of fuel sources there, maybe natural gas. We have one battery project that was just approved, and then some capacity purchase agreements. So at times we'll go buy power from someone else before we need to build it.
Um, what is OG&E's response to this report in June from the Corporation Commission's Public Utility Division, warning that a data center boom could lead utilities to overestimate demand based on speculation or speculative proposals, unverified projections, data centers that could not even come to fruition, leaving the remaining ratepayers in the state to have to then pay for this new generation of power or next few years of power generation.
So I think it's really important for your viewers and listeners to understand that not every data center project conversation will result in a data center. So we are working, the conversations that we're having, we don't even begin to put them in a forecasted plan until there starts to be some surety. And those data center companies or developers, they do pay costs along the way. So whether it's an engineering study or it's a transmission connection that serves only them, those data centers pay for those costs. Our other customers don't do that. We're also working with companies that have the financial wherewithal, because what we don't want to have happen is spend dollars on infrastructure and the project never materializes. So the way the Corporation Commission's procedures work is when we find out about a new large customer that's coming online, or on a regular basis. So there's a couple ways this can happen. We file a plan, or we submit a plan to the Corporation Commission that says we are forecasting demand of X hundred megawatts or X thousand megawatts. And then we have to demonstrate how sure we believe that is and how we're going to meet the need, because the law also requires us, we are obligated to serve every customer in our service area. So we have this obligation to serve, but we're only going to do it in a way that is balanced and as projects come online. So we've got ramp up time to secure or build generation as the data centers are ramping up and coming to fruition.
I'm ready to hear that OG&E proposed charging customers an average of 55 cents extra per month starting in 2026, which would have to increase each year uh, to an average of 441 a month by 2031. Um, and I think that the benefit of this is of new generators, but only after put in service, can provide to the customers. And again, with inflation, with you know demand that would only increase, assuming data centers get built. Um, what is the overall benefit by the time this comes? Assuming, or is this assuming that the demand from data centers would be paid in a fair share by data centers?
So a couple things to unpack there. So the cost that you laid out year by year, that was based on Senate Bill 998 and using the construction work in progress accounting. So that would avoid those $175 million in unnecessary interest costs if we were to start that. The projects that were approved, it's 950 megawatts of combined power generation and purchased agreements. Those are designed to meet some data center need of which we are certain. I'm sure you've seen some announcements from some of the bigger companies who have announced deals in certain areas that we serve, and other electric companies have done similarly for the areas that they serve. So that demand forecast is more sure than someone that we're just starting a conversation with, right? So the folks we're just starting a conversation with, you don't see them in that 950 megawatts that was just approved. So there's more certainty that those projects will come online. One of the things that we're working on today from a customer protection standpoint, while The projects that have been announced today, we are creating special contracts for them to make sure that they are paying for infrastructure that is designed to only serve them. But also, what we're working on now as more come online is a large load tariff that will address the different needs from this type of customer versus perhaps some of our larger industrial customers. This demand is more than those have been in the past. And so that will outline all types of ways that we'll be working with them along with determining their rates.
So, um, by the way, let's put this in perspective, though. How much of a transformative change is this era of however many data centers coming to Oklahoma when it comes to how OG&E has to plan um, its proposals to the Corporation Commission?
So it's really interesting. If you think back historically, we've had waves of technology shifts over time, right? Some in the Industrial Revolution, some in the Computer Revolution. Data centers are part of a new evolution for the country and the world, not just the state of Oklahoma. What's important to OG&E is that we secure data center projects that make sense for the state and make sense for the company. It doesn't mean saying yes to every single project. We've got to make sure they make sense and that they're driving economic value for the state and for the company. So it's a very different time. In some ways, it's an exciting time because if you think about those huge transformational points in time, we're at one of those. As I mentioned earlier, the Corporation Commission's process for securing new generation, proposing and approving new generation is very rigorous. The competitive bidding process is rigorous. So you even look at the projects that were just approved. One of them is at a current power plant that we have in eastern Oklahoma County. And some of the advantages to that project is we already own the land. We have a very skilled and qualified labor force who can run that plant. And so it brings the overall project cost down. And then we look for diversity of projects. So I mentioned there was a battery project that was improved in that. We don't want every project to be a single source of fuel. So we've got to look for diversity and the right cost of projects so that we're reasonable moving forward.
Um, but unless OG&E successfully invests in new sources of power, um, it would see a shortfall, especially with these data centers. So does that kind of just underscore the need in the next 5 to 10 years to get results and generating more electricity for Oklahomans?
This is going to be a multi-year process. There's no question about that. I mentioned data centers don't drop out of the sky fully functional overnight. Building a new power generating unit takes some time. We've got a couple more coming online in 2026, and these ones that are just approved are expected to be online in a few years. So it's really about taking a very measured approach to that growth. And what we have also heard from our customers is they like to see incremental steps forward, even in cost. They don't want to see huge sticker shock like once every 10 years. And so doing that a little bite at the apple at a time also makes that shift meaningful for all customers.
Can you confirm this other note? I read that OG&E is already preparing um, new requests for proposals uh, to to um, to acquire new electric generation resources, like to recover the cost of or that would require OG&E to bring a new application to the Corporation Commission when it comes to um, recovering that cost, including an extra fee for its customers.
So our last integrated resource plan, which was updated this year, the three projects that were just approved were the result of that plan. and the approved projects are about 950 megawatts of power. That was not the full need demonstrated in this year's plan. And so we've continued negotiations with some of the other projects that were in that plan. These three projects were ready to go. We were able to finish negotiations with them to understand full pricing and then come back to the commission and address and request those for approval. So we've got a few more projects coming out of that plan to meet the forecasted demand that we will go back to the commission for as those negotiations are ready. So they were projects that were identified in the 2025 resource plan.
What is a rational conclusion to make of these plans in relation to cost to the consumer?
So as we work through what the large load tariff looks like, that'll give us more clarity on what portion data centers will pay of that. But to some degree, and is true for all of our power generating units across the service area, they do serve all customers. And we have demand growth outside of data centers. So for example, over the last few years, our demand growth has been between 5 and 7% a year. And so all of these generating units are designed to benefit all customers as well. So understanding the right allocation of what folks should pay for and what their rate should be is always a mix, because anything that we build for the system today will be for the system for tomorrow too. It'll be for, folks who come into town. If you look at the growth in some of our military bases or other commercial or industrial customers, they're bringing new employees to the state. And as more people move here, you need more small business, more restaurants. So these power generating units are designed to last for generations and to serve all customers.
What guarantee can you make that the appropriate allocation to the data centers would be paid for by those operators?
Those negotiation centers are ongoing, but we are very much on the same page with the corporation commissioners, many of our stakeholders, that data centers should pay for the infrastructure that's being built to only serve them, and that they should pay a fair share of their portion of anything else, just like the rest of us do.
Have you seen some of the discourse or just complaints raised by some people in these towns that don't want these data centers, complaining about how they're not getting a lot of questions answered uh, on OG&E's end? Have you seen that, and what, I guess, general assurance can be given to them at this time, because they don't feel like they've been getting answers in an appropriate to an appropriate extent, so close to the time in which their city councils will be deciding whether to give these zonings or permits for these data center operators?
So I think it's important to remember that electricity is one input into the data center discussion. And our job is to let counties and cities and potential data center owners know how we can meet their electricity need. We don't have a point of view on land use or water. Like, those are other groups that have to make those decisions, and they have an input there. And so the best thing we can do is be fully transparent about how and when we can meet their need, and ensure our customers understand that if there's engineering studies that need to be done, those data center companies are paying for that. Residential customers aren't paying for that. So they can go in full eyes wide open, and that cities and municipalities and counties understand what the electricity input is. That's our role in this process. And so we've got to be transparent with them. We don't necessarily hear as much directly from our customers about it because they go through those other venues. So it's important that we are fully transparent with them to make sure they have the information they need to answer the citizens' questions.
But to that end, OG&E is preparing itself to meet that demand that data centers would bring. That is a consensus, you can say.
For projects that are confirmed, we cannot, will not, and do not want to overbuild the power generation system for something that doesn't come to fruition. So certainty that a project is going to happen is really important for us to be able to move forward and request new generation.
And you feel like that's something that on your end, OG&E will be finding out just like the rest of us in the next few months. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I mean, we've had some announcements, recently, and those projects are coming online, and that's some of what you've seen in these three projects for 950 megawatts that were just approved. That's the way that we work. We don't have any interest in overbuilding the system. This is not an area where you kind of build it and then they'll come. It doesn't work like that, and we don't want it to work like that. If we're going to build power generation, we need to be sure that it's being used.